Let me explain how it began. The European Union issued a directive called the Habitats Directive. It was intended to make sure that parts of our country and other European countries where rare species nest or grow were protected. So it covers, in our case, heathland on which ground nesting birds like the Dartford warbler lay their eggs and then grow when they're little chicks. So nobody wants to be nasty to birds. The European Union said be nice to birds, so everyone said, oh, all right, then we'll accept the law. Natural England, a quango, which makes its own decisions and which politicians can't at the moment tell what to do, said, oh, this looks quite interesting. This is how we'll interpret it. Anywhere that is designated a special protection area, heathland or any other environmental area, you will not be able to build a house within 400 metres of any dwelling of any kind. Why not? Because that house might have someone in it who might have a cat or a dog, and when they walk their dog or let their cat out at night, the cat or the dog might kill one of these birds. Or what about people said if you have a protected covenant, you can never have a pet? What about if it's sheltered housing for pensioners who would never have pets? Doesn't matter. We make the rules, you listen, this is what we've decided. Okay, what about 5 kilometres? Oh well, if it's outside the 400 metre zone, but up to 5 kilometres away, you can build, but what you need to do is to come up with something called suitable alternative natural green space, a SANG, or SANGS. What does that mean? Well, according to Natural England, if you, once you build, then create some new green space, as if by magic, then magically the dogs and cats that would have gone onto the heathland will then go to the alternative natural green space, because they'll know that it would be very naughty to go onto the heathland and this is the only approved space to poop. Now, it is crazy, and what is even crazier, I think, is exactly the point that David made, which is that you have this situation now where we do have some trees, and I know that the DIO consultant says, you know, they're a bit too thin, if only we were all too thin. But actually, as David points out, the existing trees and the existing green space is environmentally valid, but Natural England says it doesn't fit our definition of what a SANG should be, so you've got to chop them all down and build new trees where there's hard standing and concrete. Again, I just think that's crazy. And one of the things that it sort of reinforces in my mind is that we need to be clear when you're sort of going through this thicket of laws that we've all inherited, that we've got to try to make sure that we apply common sense and that we are also clear what the legal position allows us to do and not to do. And that's where I think some of the confusion may have lain. But certainly, as I understand it, no dwelling, whether it's a traveller's pitch or a traditional bricks and mortar home, can be within 400 metres of a special protection area. Because if you apply Natural England's logic, then, well, my understanding is that some travelling families sometimes have pets and animals. And therefore, why should it be any different? You know, all citizens should be governed by the same laws. So therefore, I think that's an inherent flaw in the proposition that's been put forward to us.